Welcome my keto friends. On today's video, we're gonna learn how to make keto bread the easiest you've ever made.
Oh my gosh, that is a thing of beauty.
Gosh, that looks...
Look at that.
Wow.
Doesn't that look amazing?
Wow.
Like, who says you can't have bread on keto?
Hey, I'm Byron Dice.
And I'm Susan Dice.
And on this channel, we help our keto friends live a simple keto lifestyle.
And if you want to see more videos, just click subscribe and click the little bell.
Everybody's talking about, hey, I want to do keto, but I love bread. What's that all about?
Don't get scared, but it's in a bread machine because nobody has a bread machine. I didn't have a bread machine.
My grandma has a bread machine.
Yeah, I didn't have a bread machine. So what did I do? Well, I looked on the internet and I started looking at them and they were like $50 to $200 and something dollars.
What?
And so I was like, well, I don't even know if this is going to work. I'm going to go to the thrift store, Goodwill, whatever it is called in your area. Went there, got a bread machine for how much?
$7.
$7. Okay.
Didn't break the bank at all.
And this is the most simple recipe that you have ever seen in your life.
Simple.
I've made it already once. I've made it twice. The first time I made it, I didn't have one ingredient that also may scare people. It's called Vital Wheat Gluten. We are not scientific minded. We don't know how the ins and outs of everything, but I do know it is.
I do like gluten though.
Yeah, it's keto friendly.
Yes.
It's 4 carbs per.
And we'll put the macros down in the description below.
4 grams of carbs per 1/4 of a cup.
Yeah, without getting very technical, I don't even know how many carbs that is a slice.
I did the macros on it, and I think it's about between 4 and 6 grams. Like he said, he'll do all the technical stuff and put all the information in the comments. No.
In the description below.
Yeah, in the description below.
No comments.
Yeah. A question I see all the time is, how do you eat keto? And like, for instance, my kids, they like bread. They like grilled cheeses. They like egg sandwiches. And on keto, you can't have bread. That's what everybody thinks. On keto, when you eat keto, you can't have this. But I'm going to show you today.
Yeah, it's not you can't have bread. It's you can't have carbs.
You can't have yucky bread. Which
is in bread. Well, yeah, whatever. So
let's get started.
Let's get cooking.
Okay, and for the bread ingredients, we have 1 1/4 cup of Vital Wheat Gluten, 2/3 of a cup of almond flour, 4 tablespoons of sweetener of your choice. You can use, I use erythritol, you can use monk fruit, you can use whatever. This is 1/2 cup of oat fiber, 2 room temperature eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter, grass-fed butter. If you're doing keto, then you know the drill. You don't want to use margarine or anything like that. You want to use grass-fed butter. 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. And this is 1 tablespoon of yeast. 1/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And this is something that scares people, 1 teaspoon of honey. I don't know all the details, but from what I understand, this gets eaten up by the yeast. It's not something that is actually considered in the carb count of the actual bread, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the honey in with the macros because, you know, people are scared of honey because it's a sweetener and it has carbs. Okay, so you just went over all the ingredients of what you're gonna put in the bread machine, yes, right? And this is the bread machine that we got at our $7 thrift store find. $7 thrift store find. So it is out there, folks. You don't have to pay $250 for a bread machine. And this is what the bread like cooks in, I guess? Yeah, this is the loaf. Now you can find bread machines that have larger loaves, wider loaves, skinnier loaves, but this is one that we found. It's not bad because it's pretty huge. Right, and it was like perfectly clean and looked like it had never been used. Because a lot of people get them for gifts and then just kind of like, yeah, let's. Yeah, and they're like, bread machine, what's that, Grandma? Anyway, this one here is a We Built Every bread machine is different,
Right.
so it doesn't matter what kind it is.
No, I was just telling them which one this one is, but you may not find this exact one, so we're not going to tell you how to use this bread machine. Whichever one you find, you can look online and figure out how to use it.
They do have pretty much the same, like this has a little paddle down inside, so yes, that's going to get stuck in your bread machine if your bread machine doesn't have like a beeper to say, hey, take the paddle out or whatever, but I don't really care. The past two that I've made, it's not made a big difference. The very last piece had the paddle in it, and it was...
And we'll show you that when we get to the end.
Yeah. So all you got to do is just put your
So
little...
put that in.
Boom.
Snap it in, okay.
And I need to heat up the water.
Okay, we just heated the water up. We didn't want to bore you with that one because it's microwave stuff. Now, Susan got this nifty little... Hey, don't point that at me. She got this nifty little thermometer. I guess it's a food thermometer.
People have thermometers.
Oh, okay. People have them. So, I mean, you could use whatever you use on your kids. You can use that.
And between like 95... No, not on your kids.
Oh.
Between 95 and 100 is warm water.
Now, is this critical, how warm this water is?
You don't want it to be too hot because it could kill the yeast, and you don't want it to be too cold because the yeast won't rise.
That's a great answer, Susan.
Thanks, because I'm very technical and I know scientific
Okay, so
stuff.
first, is this in order?
Yeah,
First
in order,
the water.
throw your water in.
Throw the water in after you got it to the correct temperature.
I can't reach my stuff over
And then
here.
what?
See,
What do you need?
Like
I'll grab
slide
it.
it back this way.
Like, what do you need? I'll
Just
grab
like
it.
bring it this way.
No,
I
which
love it.
one? Tell me.
Okay, whatever. Just the
Tell me which one's next.
the Vital Wheat Gluten.
Which is the big one?
Yes.
This one here?
Yes.
Vital Wheat Gluten.
And you're just give me a spoon out of the drawer.
A big one?
Just a regular, whatever.
Okay, that's a big one.
And then I'm just gonna spoon it because I don't want it to flop all up and on me.
So dumping the Vital Wheat Gluten
Oh, you know what?
after the water.
Actually, the eggs were supposed to go next. It doesn't matter. Not that big of a deal. Give me the eggs.
Okay, so scratch that. Do the eggs
Room temperature
after
eggs.
the water, room temperature, which
Room
means pull them
temperature
out of the
eggs.
fridge because the fridge is not room temperature.
And the eggs
inside
just kind
the
of
fridge.
sunk down in anyway, so it doesn't
So
really
throw
matter.
the eggs, then the Vital Wheat Gluten. So reverse that, folks.
Almond flour.
Almond flour, which one's that?
That one right
This
there.
big one right here. This is the almond flour.
And I've been using flax meal, but this time I decided I wanted it to be like more white, so I wanted to use almond flour.
Okay, so this is an experiment.
This is an experiment. All of my recipes are experiments.
So you used flax on the last one, and it was more of a wheat
looking.
like a wheat color.
Yeah.
Okay, so what goes next after the
oat flour, oatmeal.
I know that one because it
Oatmeal.
looks oat.
It's
So what is this?
Oat fiber, and this I wanted to
Oat
explain
fiber.
also because the way you do carbs is the amount of carbs minus fiber. This right here is straight oat fiber, so it's got 4 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber, so it zeroes out.
So do you use this because it needs to be in the bread to make the bread, or are you doing it to try to offset carbs?
Because it needs to be in the bread to make the bread. Because
Okay, it's something vital that needs to be in the bread.
right, I mean, you're gonna get the springy, spongy, you know, more
Okay.
bread-like consistency.
These are the questions, folks.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
what's next?
Let's do the sweetener.
The sweetener, which this is erythritol. I could suck this up.
This has a kind of weird cooling effect when it's by itself, but you can't.
I love it.
It doesn't do that.
I'll eat
when
it
it's in the
just
bread.
right out of the bottle.
Okay.
If it comes on the bottom.
And the sweetener, you want to kind of try to get it around the sides of.
Oh, maybe we should shoot that from the top.
It's okay.
Okay.
They don't care. It's not that big of a deal.
So do they know what that means? Trying to get that to the sides? She's
mean-
kind of spooning that to the sides
Yeah.
of the bread thing.
Okay, and then let's do the salt.
Salt, is that salt?
No,
that's
that is
white. That's
xanthan gum.
cocaine. Is that salt?
Yes.
Okay, that's salt.
And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it
Oh,
like around
and
the
is,
sides.
now listen, wait a minute. This is not regular salt, mind you. This is pink Himalayan salt.
Actually, it's
Sea
not.
salt. No? What
No,
is it?
This is, I don't remember the
You
name
don't-
of it. But do you want me to go get the bag? I'll go get the bag.
Wow, wait a minute. I thought it was pink Himalayan salt, which is actually from the Himalayas, the mountains. And I heard the industry's going down because the pack mules are getting sick of going up the mountains.
It's Redmond Dead Sea Salt or something.
See, this is even better. It's from the Dead Sea Scrolls. The salt was what was originally used to preserve the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Ancient fine sea salt.
No, I've never heard of this stuff.
Redmond's.
So
This
you
is the
didn't-
real
You haven't
deal.
showed me this. All I know is pink Himalayan salt, but
a withheld.
So that's a withheld. So that's from the Dead Sea?
No, it's Red Sea, right?
Red.
Oh, it just says ancient fine sea salt.
Ancient fine sea salt, whatever that means.
Around the sides.
Right.
Same thing.
All right, so.
And then let's do, what's next? Let's do xanthan gum.
Xanthan gum is here.
Yeah.
And that's.
And I'm just going to sprinkle it all over.
Just a sprinkle. And what does the xanthan gum do? Is that like
a
gum?
binding agent. It's just like a binding agent.
It binds all this stuff together.
Yes.
Hence,
and then we're
binding
gonna do,
agent. Is it like an FBI agent?
Let's do the honey. We'll do the honey next.
Oh wait, we got to be careful with this now because it's going to spill.
And this is the 1 teaspoon of honey. It's 1 teaspoon for a whole flipping loaf of bread.
Now is this Tupelo honey or?
Oh, you know your stuff.
Tupelo, which it comes from Tupelo, Mississippi.
No, it doesn't. It comes from the Tupelo trees in
the Tupelo
Florida.
tree. That's what I meant.
In Florida.
Which is very delicious.
It's the best honey. I never liked honey until I tried Tupelo honey. And where do we get
And what is this? Oh, we get this down in Gulf Shores.
Yeah, right off the interstate.
Right off the interstate. Tupelo.
When we would go visit
we
your
usually
mom and
pick
dad.
up a.
And
depending on
like
how the season is with honey, it will depend on the price too.
It was like $21.
Yeah. No, what is this Tupelo?
Yes.
But you don't have to use Tupelo.
No, we just.
You can use whatever honey you want. Local honey will help you out.
Okay, and then butter. Oh,
butter.
You know what? I forgot to chop my butter up. Usually I chop it up into. Give me a little knife out of there.
A little knife.
Okay.
A little knife. So she had like. This is two tablespoons.
Yeah, this is 2 tablespoons of room temperature.
And she's like cutting it up in little square chunks.
Yeah, little pieces.
As you can see there, and putting it in right there.
Little pieces, just kind of, so it'll get all mixed up. Okay. All right, now.
And what's good about, and here's why we're doing the bread machine. You can bake bread with the same recipe in the oven if you want. But who's got time for that?
Nobody got time for that.
Because you got to mix all this stuff.
And you also have to poof, I think it is. Poof the yeast.
That doesn't sound right.
You have to make the yeast rise. And you have to? Right. Well, like I've seen people, they'll put yeast in the bread and they have to put the more, and they just have to cover it.
It's a huge process.
Yeah, it's like
Nobody's got time for that. Okay, what did you just put in here?
So this is the active yeast.
That's the active yeast.
The active yeast. And I kind of like
which
make a little hole and put it like right in the very center. Like,
she makes a little hole, puts it right in the center.
Yeah. Okay, and so that's all you have to do. That's it.
So you put that all
in.
Hold on. I'm gonna break this video and I'm gonna get an overhead shot of what we just put in here, and then we're gonna start the bread.
Okay. There it goes.
Oh, so there it starts.
Right now you can do this because it's not heating up or anything, so you can have the lid open. And if you see right here, it's counting down. So it started out with 3 hours, and so it's at 250 something. So see how it's getting into it?
I don't know if we can zoom in on that. I don't know if we got that, but anyway.
It's okay. See how it's a little ball?
Yeah. So that's going to just start forming into bread, and then it's going to start rising.
And so literally we're going to close this, and in 3 hours we'll show you what we got.
3 hours later.
Okay, so the bread machine beeped, and we let it cool because it was hot, hot, hot. Okay, here's the finished product. Okay, hold on. I gotta dump it out. Oh, Maggie. Hold on. I'm having issues. I'm having issues. Okay.
Okay.
This is the finished product. It's smaller than the one. Oh, what's that?
It is
Oh, what's that? I don't know. It's a little smaller than the one we've done previously.
So was this smaller, or is it because you did something different?
It is.
Hold it up and come and add to the camera. I just want to zoom in on that.
Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, you're gonna have to stop and get over here with me.
And then, well, why don't you cut it first? Let's look at that, and then I'll come into that, and then I'll come over.
Okay. And I have to use this electric knife because if not, it's all crazy stupid. You know, like remember the little paddle thing I said? The little hole thing?
Yeah, the thing
where
that
the paddle
turns the bread.
Yeah, there it
dough.
is. When I plopped it out on the cutting board, it came out. So there's the hole. That one's gonna be a janky piece of, but who cares? Last time I made this bread, I made the mistake of, for some dumb reason, using this electric knife on my Lazy Susan. So I have cut marks on my Lazy Susan. I'm very sad, but that's okay.
Okay.
What do you think about the smell?
It smells like Subway.
Dude, the whole entire house smelled like amazing yeasty baking bread.
Yeah, Subway.
Okay.
And so here's the heel.
This is the janky one that I was talking about. Actually, it looks like there's
But
two
that would be good
janky
with like
ones.
just like some gravy or hole in toast.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hole in toast.
Hole in the
Nobody
toast.
knows what that means if you're not from the South.
Is that a Southern
I
thing?
thought it was.
Anyway, so we're gonna try this one right here.
Really, the heel? I'd rather go in deep.
No, oh, it's kind of.
Are we breaking bread?
It's a little bit chewier. I mean, a little bit.
Are we
thicker.
breaking bread?
Probably because it's the.
Where's the wine?
Probably because it's the crusty heel part. But
Okay.
It's spongy and.
It is. It feels like bread.
I mean, guess what?
It's
Tastes like bread.
it's bread.
It's
so
bread. Yeah, and so.
wow, I'm gonna pull this out so I don't get the heel, just because most people don't.
The
eat that.
heel. Okay, that is a
That's-
Southern thing
That is
for real.
yeah, the heel.
The heel.
And, Granger, you're one of our keto friends. You know what I'm talking about with the heel, right? Mm-hmm. Leave in the comments. So this is.
So because
It bounces back like bread. You know what? Here's the difference. Here's the difference in, like, say, let's get Wonder Bread, Bunny, Sunbeam, that ghetto white bread. Here's the difference. If I chewed that, it would immediately start forming into this paste.
you're talking and spitting.
Sorry. It would immediately start forming into this paste.
And get in the roof of your mouth.
And immediately, if you just start chewing on that without, like eating a normal sandwich, it would start tasting nasty.
Dude, this,
I
look
think I
at this.
spit everywhere in this
You're
kitchen.
like keeping spitting.
It's keto spitting.
This is like, look at this. This would be perfect
So how many?
For-
So we've got.
a grilled cheese.
But
Like a grilled
there's
cheese.
no carbs.
No, it's gonna be probably about maybe 4 carbs per sandwich. I'm thinking.
Okay, so 2 per slice. Slice?
Right.
Slice. Wow.
But look at this. This is just perfect for
This is
grilled cheese.
yeah, grilled cheeses.
I probably could
check
cut
this
it
out.
a
You're
little smaller. That's
you
Texas
can't
toast.
find a slice this big. Pete game on that. You can't find slices that big. Your sandwich meat does not go cover this. This is amazing. I could like slap somebody in the face with it. It's amazing. Well, that's your keto bread made with a bread machine. I think we've covered all the bases. If you have any questions,
You can make this in the oven.
but why would you want to?
If you want to do the poofing, I need to look that up and see if it's poofing.
Poofing?
Poofing. I don't know. Making your dough swell. How about
Yeah,
that?
Granger probably knows that. So, anyway. Well, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give a thumbs down and then leave in the comments why you left a thumbs down. Maybe it's my hair. Should I wear a hairnet while I do these? Oh, wow. Okay.
Spit guard.
Okay, what was our tagline? Stay keto!
No.
Oh.